and welcome to today's video. I'm extremely excited for this one because after Ali and I have spent 45 days on the beautiful Portuguese island of Madeira, we are going to share our top 5 favorite sightseeing destinations and things to do on this incredible island. And if you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for unique travel destinations all around the world. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. We begin our journey on the eastern tip of Madeira Island at a place called PONTA de São LOURENço. So this is both a place where you can park and then get a beautiful view of sort of the tail or this peninsula on the eastern side of the island. But what's even more popular is this same place is the beginning of a hiking trail. It's about 5 miles out and back where you can actually hike to almost the edge of Madeira Island and this peninsula and then hike back. And in my opinion, has some of the most beautiful, if not the most beautiful sightseeing destinations in Madeira Island. Really, really beautiful. Very safe trail as well, where some other trails, especially during more of the winter months and rainy seasons, may get a little bit more dangerous, but we had no problems on this trail. Not too intense, although of course make sure that you bring proper hiking gear. And toward the end of the hiking trail, there's even a bar in case you need to stop to use the restroom or to relax and get some refreshments, sort of as a halfway point if you're going kind of the full loop. Now, moving to the other side toward the northwest of Madeira, we arrive at sightseeing destination number 2, which are the black sands of SEIXAL Beach. Now, SEIXAL Beach is fairly small and the black sands are really beautiful and cool. But what's really neat about this beach and what I really like, it's a great place to just relax. Of course, I'm a big swimmer, so I went swimming even in November and December. The water was still definitely warm enough in December compared to even other parts of the island, which is really nice. And you have a beautiful view of sort of the curvature or the cape of the island, which is just really, really beautiful. And each part of the island has its own kind of microclimate. So a very, very different vibe from place to place. And I really like the vibe of this place, which I can't really describe and just kind of show you here on the screen. Also, SEIXAL Beach is very close to this really beautiful waterfall as well, where you can park, walk just a little bit down the road and see the waterfall. You are also about a 15-minute drive away from sightseeing destination number 3, which are the natural pools of Porto MONIZ. Porto MONIZ is this area where these swimming pools were built right next to the coastline and are actually naturally filled by the ocean water, which is really, really neat and really beautiful. They're open all year round. However, certain days, if the waves are a little bit too strong, they actually close down the pools for safety reasons. We actually went there when the waves were a little bit too high. It was really beautiful kind of seeing the waves crash into these pools, and some of these waves got crazy high into the sky. So really beautiful still and very close to SEIXAL, so it's still worth going. However, just kind of keep that in mind when planning your trip to Madeira. For sightseeing destination number 4, we move to the south of the island to one of the most recognized places on Madeira Island, which is the capital city as well as the largest city of FUNCHAL. So Ali and I actually stayed in FUNCHAL, and it is not this dinky little town. It is absolutely worth exploring. It's of course the most popular place for visitors to stay when visiting the island, and it's definitely worth getting outside of your hotel, your Airbnb to go explore. And 2 specific sightseeing destinations that I really loved in FUNCHAL. Number 1 is the boardwalk, which goes right along the coastline. Really beautiful. On your right-hand side, you have all of this vast ocean. You can see cruise ships coming in and out of the port, as well as this really cool old style ship that the island is known for as well. On your left-hand side, you can see the city of FUNCHAL actually built into the hill and kind of mountain area on your left. As you're walking down, there are multiple different vendors and cafes. You can get some fresh roasted chestnuts, which is really, really kind of a traditional and iconic treat there in FUNCHAL. And on your way along the boardwalk, you'll actually see a cable car stop where you can actually walk, get a cable car to take you up specifically to this point called the MONTE Palace or MONTE Palace. It's basically this large and very interesting estate that is filled with all different types of vegetation. Japanese garden, talks a little bit about the history of Portugal as well as Madeira Island. There's an old hotel that exists there, a waterfall, lots of different exotic birds and some different animals. A really, really cool and interesting place. and you also get some really beautiful views of the city of Funchal there below. So definitely worthwhile kind of going up a little bit outside of Funchal, sort of apart, but a really wonderful experience. Another tip is that Funchal has an extremely impressive Christmas and New Year's festival where they light up all of the streets and all of the city lights, even going up into the hills. It's really beautiful. They have even a little carnival going on, fireworks going off, a really energetic, lively, and beautiful time of year that Ali and I accidentally stumbled upon, but will definitely plan to come back at some point, especially for New Year's. Next, driving about 25 minutes toward the west, still along the southern part of the island, we arrive in a little village called Ponta do Sol. So Ponta do Sol is this kind of iconic spot with these very colorful buildings that especially light up right around golden hour or about an hour before sunset all the way through. Really beautiful, magical, extremely chill, relaxed. Time almost moves slower in this area. And if you are driving from Funchal to Ponta do Sol, my personal favorite drive is along this route. So as you're driving, you'll start to see some of the extreme diversity of this tiny island. Specifically, you'll see these valleys and hills filled with banana plantations. Almost looks like something out of Southeast Asia or maybe Africa or some other part of the world mixed with Portugal. Just very interesting, unique, and beautiful. And once you arrive in Ponta do Sol, if you keep driving along that main road, you're actually going to come to another really unique sightseeing destination, which is a waterfall that goes directly in the middle of the road. Not next to the road, but on the road itself, which is really, really cool. So of course, this has sort of become this popular tourist spot. So as you're driving, there's a very good chance you'll see this kind of little line in front of the waterfall of people waiting to get photos and videos in it. It's a great place to kind of meet some new people, and you get some really beautiful video and photo, especially again, right at that golden hour, right around sunset. Really beautiful, a lot of energy, great people, both the locals and the tourists here in this area. So definitely recommend visiting. And a bonus destination that we could not make this video without is Pico do ARIEIRO. So Pico do ARIEIRO is located toward the center-ish of the island, north of Funchal, and is this point where you can either drive up to or hike to, where you can get some beautiful views of the surrounding area. And specifically, you can go to this point, and during certain times of the years, you can actually see below you clouds all around, which make for some really cool photos and video. Now, like I said, this view, specifically with the clouds, is only available during certain times of the year. Or I guess available, I don't know. We went in the winter again, and because of this, there's a lot more rain and a lot more fog. So Ali and I tried to go 3 times during our over a month staying in Madeira, and all times fog completely encompassed the lookout point to where you could barely even see in front of you, let alone kind of the surrounding area. But even then, during the winter with all of the rain and the fog, honestly, the drive up was still really, really beautiful. And with all of that rainfall, you are also almost guaranteed to see a rainbow at some point. We saw rainbows constantly during our time in the island during the winter, and specifically around Pico do ARIEIRO, you see this rainbow kind of going into this lush green field or valley. Really, really beautiful. Some really cool forests and woods nearby that we stopped in as well. So still really cool and could still potentially be worth visiting in the winter. But according to a local, if you want to get that kind of iconic cloud view on Pico do ARIEIRO, then she recommended coming in either early fall or late spring. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope that you're excited to visit Madeira, Portugal. And if you know of any friends or family who are thinking about visiting or need to know about Madeira, then be sure to be a good friend and share this video with them. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more adventures all around Portugal and all over the world. And as always, thank you so much for your support. God bless, and we look forward to seeing you in the next adventure.